I've got a huge stat for you. A stat that is so revealing and tells you everything you need to know about this current Arsenal team. Since Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was given the tic-tac by Mikel Arteta, a huge, bold statement from the manager, Arsenal have scored 6 goals in 2 games. That is huge. They have scored 6 goals in 2 games since Arteta made that move. It was a brave move from Arteta. He put his neck on the line. It wasn't one that I agreed with. I hold my hands up. I didn't think it was a good idea to hang Aubameyang out to dry in the way that he did. Felt unnecessary to me. But it's looking like it was a bold and almost inspired decision. I still believe that Aubameyang's a good player, and I still believe that he could contribute to this Arsenal team. Mikel Arteta disagrees, and the way that he went about it, there was no room for negotiation. He hung him out to dry. When you publicly question a footballer's work ethic, their hunger, their desire to be a footballer, you're questioning their person, you're questioning their integrity, and what you're actually doing is declaring war. And if you're a manager, you've got to get it right. You've got to win that war. And so far, Mikel Arteta has got it right. They've got rid of their best striker, arguably, and they've scored 6 goals in 2 games. So how can you possibly argue with it? Time will tell. Time will tell whether it's the right decision. I am not convinced by Mikel Arteta as a manager. I'm not convinced. I don't think he is the guy to take Arsenal back to where they once belonged. When you think about who Arsenal once were, team winning doubles, team consistently challenging for the Premier League, a team with ambition to win the European Cup. I don't know if Mikel Arteta is that man, but what I will admit is he's getting it right at the moment, and the performances are very impressive. We can't read too much into the performance today. Leeds United are threadbare. Leeds United are completely and utterly threadbare. It was amazing that their game has gone ahead today, in my opinion. Absolutely amazing. But it's a big moment for Arsenal because they've got the points on the board and they've consolidated their place in the top 4. And that's what the dream for Arsenal is this season. The fact that they have managed to consolidate it when loads of games are being called off, Arsenal's game went ahead, they got the 3 points. Points on the board, it's what it's all about. You know, games in hand, they matter to a degree, but give me the points on the board every day of the week. And I'm sure that Arsenal fans will be feeling very, very happy about that today. It was a dreadful result for Leeds. Another one. Their goal difference has taken such a hammering lately. But it's a big day for Arsenal. Look, I'm sure there's going to be more bumps on the road, but there were a lot of admirable aspects to what Arteta has been doing here. I think that that electric crop of next generation youngsters is big. But the biggest thing that you can say about Arsenal when you think about who they've been for a good while is they've got a reliable defence. They've got a really reliable back 5, if you include Ramsdale in that. There doesn't seem to be any inflated egos. They all seem to be pulling in the same direction, and there is clear progress. And that is what you want as an Arsenal fan, isn't it? You are looking for progress. You are looking for a little bit of development, and it feels like that is certainly the case. They are moving in the right direction. I think all of the plaudits, in fact, are going to go to probably Martinelli, right? But I'm not going to do that. I will obviously give him his props. He deserves it. He scored, I think that's the first time he's ever scored 2 goals in a Premier League game. So big moment. But I want to talk about the back 5 because I think it's more striking and actually, arguably at least, more important. And do you know who I think a warrior is? Doesn't necessarily get the plaudits. Everybody talks about Ben White or Ramsdale. Mate, Takahiro Tomiyasu, he's the boy. He is a warrior. And look, he's not the most technically gifted. He's not exactly easy on the eye either, but he is fantastic for commitment and effort and sort of like general defending. Do you know what I mean? Like, puts his neck on the line, puts his body on the line, makes life difficult for wingers, tucks in to help out his centre halves, constantly in communication with his goalkeeper. He just feels to me that he is a great acquisition and he's actually integral to the way that back line is shaping up because it is a very impressive back line. And look, everybody wants to talk about Smith Rowe, don't they? Smith Rowe, Saka. Like, I think that if you look at that, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Saka, Odegaard, it's good. And it's, in one way, you kind of think, wouldn't it be really good to find a way and fathom a way of getting them all starting the games together? But then I also think, having the opportunity to bring one on is also really good. And Arsenal can be fairly inspired by this, but they just have to keep a lid on it because it was a threadbare Leeds team. Martinelli, got to do it, haven't we? He's developing into the player that they all hoped he would be. And they all said he was. We've been hearing about Martinelli for a long time, since he scored that goal at Stamford Bridge, where he bobbled his first touch. Don't come at me with that. He bobbled his first touch. Kante slipped and he bobbled it. But look, you run the length for the pitch at Stamford Bridge to score a goal. It's a big deal, don't get me wrong. And he's managed to add finishing to the pace and the skill. Do you know the goal for me where you just think, he's got it. He's really got it. There was a dink. There was a dink today. And I love that. He scored a very good one. I think it was against Newcastle. I think it was against Newcastle earlier this season. When it came over his shoulder and he just cushioned it in, just side-footed it, volleyed it. The variety of goal, those kinds of goals, I think, are very revealing for a striker. Because it takes a particular confidence, takes a particular arrogance. And to dink the keeper in the way that he did, big, very big. But Arsenal were too good. Arsenal controlled the game from start to finish, really. The result wasn't really in doubt. There were moments where Arsenal fans would have had their hearts in their mouth. But I think Arsenal had 15 shots, 11 on target in the first half, which is, I think, the best half Arsenal have ever had, stats-wise, ever. And you think about the teams over previous generations. So it was a big, big day. The only other thing that we need to discuss, really, is Granit Xhaka being lucky to be on the pitch. I mean, he was booked for taking his sweet time, annoying me, taking his sweet time over a free kick. But he didn't get any punishment for that obnoxious challenge on Rafinha. And probably should have been sent off. He probably should have been sent off. And look, that can have a direct impact on the game. But we don't really need to focus on the negative there, do we? That isn't really what we need to do. I think what we need to talk about is the genius of Martinelli, the back line being so stingy, Arteta winning the battle, getting it right, tactically looking strong, and Emile Smith-Rowe scoring goals. It's 3 in a row for him, isn't it? Big times for Arsenal. And look, it has to be kept in check because things, it's Leeds. And there is a reason as to why they got the result they did. But they have moved now into 4th spot and they are 4 points clear of West Ham United. West Ham United have a game in hand, but it doesn't really matter. It isn't about the game in hand. You always want points on the board. Points on the board are what it's all about. So, a very big day for Arsenal. Terrible, terrible day for Leeds. I mean, it is going so wrong, and they are now in a relegation scrap. There is no two ways about it. They are in a relegation scrap. But winning at Elland Road, boisterous atmosphere, always a hard place to go. Big day. Emile Smith-Rowe and his mates, pat on the back from me. It's impressive. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. I truly hope that you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do me the honour of clicking subscribe. It would mean the world to me if you would click that button. Give it a like, and remember, for the rest of your days, go easy, step lightly, and stay free. I'll be seeing you all very soon. Have a lovely night.